Hey everyone, Johnny here with another draw along for you. Today we're going to be doing Iron Man from the Avengers Infinity War movie. This is his Mark 50 armor, in case you're curious. So without further ado, let's rock and roll. So I'm going to start off marking my borders here, as usual. For me, this is to help me stay in frame, but I do suggest that you try it out yourself so you can keep your drawing centered on your paper. Now we're going to start off with the big shapes like we usually do, blocking in. So with the head, we're going to make a big circle here. And we always want to make sure that we draw as light as we can when we start off. It's because we're going to make a lot of mistakes along the way, make a lot of corrections, and the lighter you draw, the easier it's going to be for you to erase. Okay, so we got the head. Now for the body, we're going to come down here, draw an angle going down like this. So the body's going to be a little bit wider on the bottom than it is here up at the neck area. I'm going to go down the other side. Like that. And we're going to come down here. So we're getting almost like a necktie shape, right? Like if this was the knot for a necktie, and then this was the actual tie coming down itself. Head, body, we're going to put in the legs right now. For the legs, we're going to keep them nice and straight. Just going down, kind of with his feet spread apart. Like this. I know this drawing looks like it has a lot of detail to work around, but when you simplify it like this, draw the big shapes first, and then start layering the details on top of that, it's going to be a lot more simple than you think. So we got the legs coming down. For the feet, we're going to do some curves out, just like this. Okay. Coming back in, and then you do another curve here for the heel, just a slight curve. Okay. Same thing for this side. I'm going to come out with a foot here, straight on the bottom, and then another slight curve here at the back for the heel. Okay, so for the hands, I'm going to show you a little trick just to keep them so that they're even. All right, so we're going to find a spot where we want our first hand. It's going to be about here. Okay, and to make sure they're level, I'm going to draw a very light guideline going across to the other side of the body, just about right there. So with this guideline, I know that the hands are going to be on the same level. I'm going to put a mark. Actually, it's going to be a shape to mark the position of the hands. But I'm not going to add the fingers just yet. So the shape is going to be kind of a half circle. Okay, and you see how this line here for the top of the palm, it's lining up with this guide that I drew all the way to the other side. And then I just draw the other palm right here. You want to make sure you have enough space between your palm and the body too, because we're going to draw a little bit of the arm in here as well. still drawing lightly. We're still at the blocking phase where we're just planning things out. All right. So we got the hands in place, body, legs, feet, and head. We're going to start adding some detail, and we're going to start from the top and work our way down. So I'm going to draw a midline really lightly down the middle of the head, the vertical midline. And then I'm going to do a horizontal one as well. This is to divide the head into equal parts so we could get it symmetrical, well, as close as we can. We're not really measuring right now, we're just kind of eyeballing, but these guidelines are going to help us keep it pretty even. Okay, so for the eyes, I'm going to find my horizontal midline here, and then I'm going to draw a slant, a little bit of a slant going down. Like that. And then here, I'm going to bring the inside of the eye down. And for the bottom, I'm going more straight across. And once we have all these sides, we just close it up. So it's almost like a rectangle, except this part is a little bit more narrow than this part. I'm starting to draw a little bit darker now, getting into the details. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this side. So we start over here and we slant down just a little bit. Come in. Then we do the bottom just straight across. And we close it off. All right. So let's get into his forehead area. We have this corner of the eye here, and we're going to do a curve going up the side of the forehead. We find this eye here, this corner, and we do the same thing on this side. Try to get them as even as you can going up to the same point. So once you have the lines going up, we're going to go in just a little bit like this on each side. And from there, we close it off with a nice big curve, a C curve. A C curve is a line with just one curve in it like this. And then an S curve, we're going to do a little bit later, is a line with two curves in it. You'll see that when we get more towards the legs. Okay, so once we have this forehead in place, he does have these lines here. Just a little bit added detail. Like that. And then on this side as well. Okay. Now from here, we're going to find the bottom corner of the eye on this side, and we're just going to do a line going up like this to reach the edge of the circle. I'm going to do it on this side as well. Here. Okay. And now we could round out or darken up this edge here on the head. Just give us some nice clean lines. Okay. You can even thicken up the line a little bit more if you want. I think it looks nice when you have the for drawings like this, when you have the outer edges with some nice bold lines, outlines, it makes it look a little bit nicer. Okay. All right, now we're gonna do the mouth area. So we're gonna find a point here on the side of the head. We're gonna do a curve down, following this edge of the circle. We're gonna stop about here. Then we go to the other side and do the same thing. So we just do a little curve going down. And we'll stop about there. Okay. So from here, we're gonna do the mouth shape. Just go up a little bit. Same on this side. Draw a little tab going up. And then we're gonna go straight across and connect the 2 points here with a straight line. And to get this kind of cheek turn here, all we need to do is, again, find this corner of the eye here, this bottom corner, and then we're gonna connect these 2 points, but we're gonna make the line a little bit curved. So it's gonna go kind of straight on the top part, and then when it gets closer here, that's when it starts to curve. Okay. So I'm finding the bottom corner of the eye, starting a little bit straight, and as I get closer to here, this corner, then I curve it. Okay. And from there, to finish off the head, we just need to darken up this outline for the bottom part of the circle. Again, if you make it nice and bold and thick line, it's gonna look a little nicer. Okay, so we got the head done. Let's move on to the body and the hands. So for the hands, we're gonna keep it nice and simple, right? We have our palm shape here, and in the center of that palm, we're gonna draw a circle. This is what he calls his repulsors. You know, Iron Man, this is what he uses. He uses it for like a weapon, and then he uses it so he can fly also. Which is pretty cool. It has 2 functions, right? Okay, and for the fingers, we're just gonna do 4 little fingers going up like this. Okay. We got the fingers in place, and then the thumb is gonna go in here. That. If you want, you could leave these lines in because it is kind of like a mechanical hand, right? Where you could see all the joints. So these lines, if you want to keep those in, I think that's okay. On the drawing I prepared beforehand, I didn't really make them noticeable. So if you want to erase these lines or leave them in, I'll leave it up to you. Okay. I got one hand there. We got the other hand here. Again, we do the circle for the repulsor. 4 tabs going up for the fingers. And then we finish it off with the thumb over here on the inside. Okay. I'm going to darken up these lines here on the edge before I put the arms in here. All right, there we go. So for the arms, they're very simple. We're gonna go right in here around the top of the thumb area. And we're gonna do a curve like this for the shoulder. Okay. And then we're gonna go to the bottom of the palm here and do a little bit of a flatter curve than up here. This is pretty rounded, but this curve is going to be pretty flat compared to this one. All right. And then from here, we just find the point, a point up here on the shoulder, and then do an extra curve. This is like his shoulder pad, for his armor. Okay. There we go, nice and simple. Move on to this side. Again, we find a point above the thumb or around this corner here. And we just draw a curve like this for the shoulder. Go from the bottom of the palm and bring it back to the body. And then we draw another curve here for the shoulder pad. Nice. Okay, let's move on to the body. We're gonna start with the chest plate. So we're gonna go down here and draw a line slanting in like this. And then we're gonna go on the other side and try to match that as close as we can. There we go. And then from there, we just connect these 2 points. I'm gonna put a little bit of a curve in mine. If you want, you can make it straight. Might be a little simpler, but it does add a little bit to the drawing if you have these slight curves in there. Especially for his style of armor, he has like a lot of flowy lines. So a little bit of a curve, see that? All right. So from here, to get his abdomen section, we got this corner here, and we're gonna go out like this, and then find this corner here and do a curve connecting that point. Same thing on this side, down like this, curve it going in, done. Now we're gonna get these lines going down his abdomen here and going to his waist. So from here, these corners we're gonna connect. This. This. And then we're gonna close it off here. Okay. And then next we're going to find these 2 corners. Come down, down, and then connect. And then to show his waist, we're going to come here on the side. We're going to start with a straight line on each side. And then we connect that with a curve. So if you could tell, I'm still drawing pretty light even on these detail areas. That's because we're getting a lot of sharp corners with these details. And what I'm going to do is round off these corners so it looks a lot smoother. This is what I mean. So we have a sharp corner here, and I'm just going to round it off and make it nice and curved. See? here as well. Okay, now for the chest plate and the, they call this his arc reactor. It looks pretty complicated of a shape, but I'm going to show you how to make it look a little bit more simple. So just like how we did a midline down the center of the head, I'm going to do a midline down the body, and this is going to help me make sure that his arc reactor is centered on his chest. Okay. So from there, we're going to do a line straight across. This is gonna, we're still drawing lightly. This is just the block in. Okay. And then we're going down a little bit, just like this. It's not straight down. There's a little bit of an angle here going out. And here, we're angling in. And then from there, we just connect these 2 points like that, straight across. But to get this little wedge in here, all we need to do is find these corners here at the top. We go in a little bit. Again, here's the corner. We go in, and then we just close it off. Okay. And we can darken this up all the way around. And then get rid of this top line, which we don't need anymore. Okay. And then to finish off the chest, we're just going to do 3 lines down each side. 1, 2, 3. Same thing here. Okay. We're almost done. Let's do the legs. We're going to go here on the waist or the hip. And we're going to draw a little bit of a curve connecting down here. Same on the other side. And for the legs here, connecting, I'm going to curve, just like how I added extra curves on these corners. I'm going to add a little bit extra curve here and even darken up this line, make sure it's nice and bold. Darken up these lines here. So we're going to find the knees and just draw some circles here for the knees. And then he has a stripe from the top of the knee going up the side of his leg, like so. And then here, this is what I was talking about with the S curves. So they have 2 curves in it, just like the letter S. The way we do this is we start here, and the first curve is following the curve of this circle here, right? So we go down like this. And then once we get to this point, we just curve it the other way. That. Okay, same thing here. We're going to do 2 of them on each side. That. And then for his toes, we just have a curve like so. Okay, now let's do this leg. We got a circle for the knee. From there, we find the top of the knee and do a curve up the side of the leg. We got our two S curves under the knee here. This one, I think I curved it a little bit too much. You see how these are a little bit flatter? So I'm just gonna adjust that. Okay. Then we finish it off with a curve here on the toe for this foot. And now that we have all our details in place, this is the time where we look at the big picture and we try to spot anything that needs to be corrected or adjusted. And just spending this little bit of extra time refining your drawing and getting those last details in there. That's what's going to make your drawing take it up to the next level, right? You could get rid of all these guidelines that we drew in here. Okay. And there you go. There's your Iron Man. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.